Okay, so I thought I was going to have one more stop at the United Way, but before then I took a short visit to, this is the Church of the Magdalene, Mary Magdalene. It's the center of the Utah Archdiocese of the Catholic Church, and it's evidently the only cathedral in the country that is dedicated to Mary Magdalene. So, interesting fact. So right across the street, here you go, we've got the Catholic Diocese of Salt Lake City. Not surprisingly that it's right across, from the cathedral, which was beautiful, by the way. I'm saying this because, people might have seen one of my other videos about the St. Joe's Prep in Philadelphia. We know that the Vatican is very much involved in impact investing, that they've had at least 3 impact investing conferences in Rome, the Vatican Bank with Notre Dame Business School, the Mendoza Business School, and that the Pope is interested in using AI to solve poverty, and they're meeting up with Microsoft, and Ronald Cohen of Social Finance has been speaking, and Pierre Mediar has been hosting dinners for their impact investing conferences. And actually a lot of these programs are being carried out, at least some of the pilots, through humanitarian aid. So in our city, Patrick Harker, who is the head of the Philadelphia Federal Reserve, is on the board of Catholic Relief Services. So there's this great overlap between the central banking systems and the ostensible humanitarian or charitable giving tied to social service and social welfare agencies. Catholic Relief Services is based in Baltimore, and I did a whole talk about Baltimore and the N.E. Casey Foundation and Johns Hopkins and Analytics in the human capital impact investing space. So I just want to say that we, a lot of what's going on, we know that faith-based institutions will be those fourth sector, the nonprofits or the charitable institutions doing the social impact investing. They'll be the ones administering the services, whether that's the Catholic Church, the Jewish faith, the Lutherans, the Unitarians, the LDS, whoever. Those institutions will be administering the services. And one of the things I tried to emphasize in my talks here was that essentially that will make them complicit in the impact market. So even if they're coming at things, the average rank and Joe person who's giving the services is doing it for the right reasons because there is great need, they will be turned into people carrying out this regime of data analytics and predictive profiling, and that's just going to be a part of it. And so what I'm trying to ask people of faith to do across all faith practices is to wake up to what's going on with impact investing, and to refuse and to confront their leaders about how the assets are invested and what their participation would be in impact markets. So, Pierre Omidyar was at the Vatican Impact Investing conferences. He's working on Good ID, sort of a universal digital ID for all people. He's very much involved in the educational technology space and other sorts of, medical compliance, and through his wife Pam, who did that Goal Mama app. So I'm really trying to get through to people, of a spiritual practice, because I think in many ways this engagement against AI is against something that's very much an anti-life system, and, a predator energy, a demonic energy, if you want to call it that, and that we're all being pulled into this net. So I was actually aiming, after I walked out of the cathedral, I didn't see the Archdiocese here, and I was going to go to the United Way building. And so I looked, and it turns out that the United Way building is just 2 blocks from here. I was like, it's actually the crazy thing about today's weather. It's, early February in Utah, and there's snow in the mountains, but it's warm here. I don't even have a coat on. So the weather is weird. And, like I said, the skies are still all weird today. And from these, it started out clear, and then I could just see all of the various, planes flying over. You can just see the lines, and these are not normal clouds. So I guess I'm getting my daily dose of nanotechnology or whatever, nanoparticles. But part of the reason that I come out is to see how things lay on the land. And it's important to see, again, the power of these interlocking regimes. So you have the faith-based communities, of which in Utah, clearly LDS is a major entity in that space, both impact investing, policy, legislative. But then there's also the Catholic Church, which is not insubstantial. This church is from like 1905, and that it's, you know, really just a stone's throw over to United Way. So anyway, this is just this, you know, I just wanted to mention about, again, bringing back in the Catholic Church, impact investing, inclusive capitalism, AI, predictive profiling, and social welfare, and how it's all becoming interlocked as we have this economic dispossession in this, like, nearly going on a year of, you know, lockdown and disruption.